The Vari Dominion had been exploring the outer edge of the Perseus Arm for decades. Their ships moved in silence through empty space, scanning star systems that no other race dared to visit. These explorers were careful, precise, and trained to expect anything, yet nothing could prepare them for what they found that day. Captain Leveran stood on the bridge of the Calith star, looking at the readings on the main screen. The crew of 5 scientists and 10 engineers gathered behind him, eyes wide with curiosity and unease. The sensors had detected a massive object floating near a dead planet. It was enormous, far larger than any vessel they had seen before. The readings were strange. The ship emitted almost no energy, yet its metal hull absorbed their scans, making it nearly invisible in the data. "What is it?" one of the scientists, a female named Tiva, asked. Her long blue eyes reflected the flickering lights of the control panel. "It looks dead. No signals, no movement. Nothing." Leveran shook his head. "It should not exist. According to the charts, nothing from this system should be here. Yet it is. Bring us closer." The ship moved carefully, gliding toward the mysterious vessel. As they approached, the hull markings became faintly visible. Strange symbols and numbers etched into the metal shimmered in the sensor readouts. Leveran frowned. They were not Vahri symbols nor any other known language. When the translation module tried to interpret them, it produced fragments. Humanity, expeditionary vessel, and Deathworld. A murmur ran through the crew. "Humanity?" Tiva repeated, as if tasting the word for the first time. "Yes," Leveran said, eyes fixed on the display. "Humanity. From a Class 15 Deathworld." The words caused a shiver to pass through everyone. Class 15 worlds were legendary. No life could survive there, not even the hardiest alien species. They were called Deathworlds for a reason. Only fools or myths spoke of anything coming from such places. And yet here it was. A human ship. "Should we board it?" Another scientist, Joran, asked nervously. Leveran considered the question carefully. Curiosity battled caution. "We will approach, we will study it, and we will board. But we proceed slowly. Any mistake could be fatal." The Calith star moved closer, engines humming softly. The alien crew observed the ship with a mixture of fear and fascination. Its surface was scarred with deep scratches and dents, as if it had survived countless battles. Strange glyphs lined the sides, and some panels seemed to pulse faintly, though no energy output was detected. When the Vahri crew finally set foot, on the airlock the door of the human vessel creaked open. Inside the air was still. There was no warmth, no sound, only a faint scent of ozone and metal. The corridors were wide and reinforced. Strange lights glowed dimly along the walls, following patterns the aliens did not understand. "Captain, sensors are acting strangely," Tiva said. "The ship's systems, they are awake but not fully. It is as if the vessel is alive but sleeping." Leveran nodded. "Keep your distance. Watch everything. This ship is old, but there is something here, something important." The explorers walked down the hallways, their boots making soft echoes. Each corridor led to new surprises. There were storage rooms filled with strange equipment. Some objects looked like weapons, others like tools for survival in extreme environments. In every room, the markings were human. Photos, diagrams, even murals decorated the walls. They showed humans wearing strange suits fighting creatures that resembled nightmares. "This is incredible," Joran whispered. "These people survived a Class 15 Deathworld. How? How did they survive?" Leveran said nothing. He only stared at the murals, noting the careful designs and the determination in the human faces. He felt a strange emotion, a mixture of awe and unease. The deeper they explored, the stranger the ship became. Power conduits hummed faintly under the floor. Doors slid open silently when the crew approached. And then, in the command deck, they found it. It was a large chamber with a circular platform in the center. On it lay a single figure, enclosed in a glass chamber filled with a clear fluid. The figure was small, but humanoid. The skin was pale, the eyes closed. Tubes ran into the body from The chamber and strange lights blinked in rhythm with a faint heartbeat signal. Tiva stepped forward. "Captain, it is alive, but it is suspended, frozen." Leveran's eyes narrowed. He studied the chamber carefully. "This is a human. She is alive. How is this possible? This ship has been here for centuries. The planet has been dead for generations, and yet she survives." Joran shook his head in disbelief. The legends, they were true. Humanity survived the impossible. The aliens had never seen anything like this. For all their technology and exploration, they had assumed humanity was extinct. Entire races had vanished without a trace. But here was proof. A living human, suspended in time, waiting. Leveran touched a control panel carefully. The display flickered to life. Symbols and numbers moved across the screen. The ship's AI was activating slowly. Its voice was soft, almost a whisper. "Unauthorized presence detected," it said. The aliens froze. "Is that the ship speaking?" Tiva asked, fear in her voice. "Yes," Leveran said quietly. "It is awake. We must be careful." The AI continued, its voice calm but firm. "Biologicals detected. All access restricted. Leave or be contained." The crew took a step back. They were not aggressive, but the warning was clear. The human vessel was defending itself, even after centuries of inactivity. Leveran looked at the chamber. "We cannot harm her. We will not harm her. But we need to understand. Prepare the interface. We will try to communicate." Tiva connected the scanning devices to the chamber. The alien screens displayed a faint brainwave pattern. The human was alive, but her consciousness was dormant, waiting for a trigger. Hours passed as the Vari worked carefully. They adjusted life support, monitored energy levels, and stabilized the vessel. Finally, the ship's AI spoke again. "Subject viability critical. Activation required." Leveran gave the order. "Begin revival." The chamber hissed. Fluid drained slowly, replaced by breathable air. Lights inside the room brightened. The human's eyes fluttered open. They were sharp, intelligent, and unafraid. Her gaze scanned the room quickly, assessing every alien. She sat up slowly, voice calm and precise. "Identify yourselves," she said in a strong, clear tone. Leveran took a careful step forward. "I am Captain Leveran. We are explorers from the Vahri Dominion. We found your ship near a dead planet. Who are you?" The human studied him, then the rest of the crew. Her voice was steady. "I am Captain Laura Mason. You have awakened me after a long time." The room fell silent. Her words were simple, but they carried weight. She was not afraid. She was not weak. She was alive. And she had survived a world that should have killed her. Leveran nodded slowly. "We need to understand what happened. How did you survive a Class 15 Deathworld?" Mason's gaze hardened. She looked around the command deck, touching controls instinctively. "Survival is not a matter of luck," she said. "It is a matter of will, of preparation, and of knowing your enemies. You do not understand the world I come from, but I do." The crew exchanged glances. They felt something unfamiliar, respect, fear, and awe all at once. This human was not just a survivor. She was a force of nature. As Mason rose from the chamber, the ship's AI powered up more systems. Lights pulsed along the walls. Hatches opened. Weapons and shields activated silently. Leveran realized that the human vessel was not just old, it was ready. And the galaxy had not seen humanity's last stand. For the first time, the Vahri understood something they had never imagined. Humans did not just survive impossible worlds, they thrived on them. And now, one had returned. The derelict ship, silent for centuries, began to hum with life. Systems stirred, lights glowed, and energy flowed through corridors that had not seen movement in hundreds of years. Mason walked to the viewport, looking out at the empty stars. Her eyes were calm, but there was a spark of determination. "I have been waiting," she said quietly, "and now, the galaxy will remember us." Leveron watched her, a strange feeling stirring in his chest. The Vari had discovered many wonders in their time, but nothing like this. One human, alone, in a ship from a death world, could change everything. The stars outside the viewport were silent witnesses. They waited, and somewhere deep in the cold void of space the galaxy began to shift, without even knowing it. Captain Laura Mason stood in the command deck of her ship, the dim lights reflecting off her sharp eyes. The Vari crew around her was tense. They did not know what to expect from her. A human who had survived a Class 15 death world. Mason's mind was calm. She had been asleep for centuries, but her body and mind were trained for survival. She knew that first impressions were important, and she needed to assess these aliens before they decided she was a threat. Leveron, the Vari captain, stepped forward carefully. "Captain Mason, we mean no harm. We are explorers. We found your vessel floating near a dead planet. We did not expect anyone to survive." Mason's gaze swept across him and his crew. They were cautious but not aggressive. "That was good." She nodded slowly. "I am awake because you brought me here," she said. "But do not think my awakening is your advantage. This ship has survived the impossible, and so have I. Understand that before you make any moves." Tiva, the scientist, stepped forward, hands raised slightly. "Captain Mason, we only wish to learn. Your vessel. It is remarkable. We have never seen anything like it. Can you tell us about it?" Mason tilted her head, studying Tiva. "My ship is not just remarkable. It is alive, and it has survived because it was built for a death world. Everything you see, every system, every weapon, every shield exists because humanity knew how to survive when the galaxy wanted it dead. This vessel is not a museum. It is a weapon, and it is ready." The words sent a shiver through the Vari crew. They were explorers, scientists, engineers, not soldiers. Yet the calm confidence in Mason's voice made them realize how wrong they had been. They had found something ancient but powerful beyond imagination. Leveron nodded slowly. "We did not intend to provoke it. But your survival is a mystery. How did humans survive on a Class 15 death world?" Mason's eyes hardened. She took a step closer to the viewport, looking out into the empty void of space. "You do not understand what it takes to live on a world that is trying to kill you every day. Storms that can crush cities. Predators that hunt in packs and are faster than anything you know. Diseases that can wipe out millions. And yet humans endured. We did not just survive. We adapted, we fought, and we thrived. That is what you are seeing here." Joran, one of the Vari scientists, whispered to Tiva. "She makes it sound easy." Tiva shook her head. "It is not easy. It is terrifying, and she is calm." Mason turned her attention to the control panels. Her fingers moved over the buttons and switches with ease. She was checking the systems, ensuring the ship was fully operational again. "Your scans are incomplete," she said. "You cannot see the true state of this vessel. The AI has been dormant, but it remembers everything. It will respond to me and only me." The AI Erebus hummed in the background. Its voice was steady, almost mechanical. "Captain Mason, biological interface detected. Access granted. Systems restoring to full functionality." Leveron's jaw tightened. "You have an AI?" "Yes," Mason replied. "And it is older and smarter than any of you can imagine. It controls the ship, the defenses, and the weapons, and it will protect this vessel at all costs." The aliens exchanged worried glances. They had not realized how dangerous the situation had become. They had intended only to study the ship, perhaps even claim it for their dominion. But now, with the human captain awake, it was clear that the vessel was not theirs to take. Mason continued her inspection, moving from panel to panel. She brought up holographic displays of the ship's interior, the surrounding space, and even parts of the dead planet below. She traced her finger over the map, showing the Vari how the ship had navigated in the past. "This ship was built to survive in orbit over the deadliest planet known to humanity," she explained. "It has systems to shield from radiation, from storms, from attacks, and it has weapons that can destroy fleets larger than yours. You have to understand, the galaxy does not know what humans are capable of. They think we are myths. They are wrong." Leveron swallowed hard. You mean that humans are still alive? That they survived?" Mason's eyes were steady. "Some of us survived. Some of us waited. And some of us will return. Tiva asked cautiously. Captain Mason, what do you mean by return? Mason turned her gaze back to the aliens. I mean that humanity never truly vanished. We may have been thought extinct, but we were waiting. Our ships, our systems, our people, they are out there hidden, sleeping, waiting for the right moment. And now, the moment has come. The Vari crew felt a mix of awe and fear. They had discovered one human. But Mason's words suggested there were many more, ready to rise from hiding. Suddenly, the AI Erebus spoke again. External interference detected. Unknown vessels approaching. Weapon systems on standby. Leveran moved to the viewport. Through the reinforced glass, he could see the glint of ships in the distance. Captain Mason, these are not friendly. They are coming toward us fast. Mason's expression remained calm. Good. Let them see what they are up against. I will show them why humans are not to be underestimated. The aliens prepared for battle, though they had no weapons comparable to Mason's ship. The Vahri engineers activated their defensive shields, and the scientists tried to understand the ship's AI. But Erebus was beyond their comprehension. It moved faster, controlled the ship's systems with precision, and anticipated every threat. Mason took her place at the main console, her hands steady over the controls. She did not panic. She had survived worlds designed to kill her, faced predators that could tear through metal, and endured storms that could crush entire cities. A few alien ships would not be a problem. Erebus, she said, prepare defensive protocols. Let them approach. We will not fire until necessary, but be ready. The AI responded immediately. Defensive protocols activated. Weapon systems online. Shields at maximum capacity. Leveran watched as the human captain controlled the ship with ease. He had never seen anyone move so confidently, so efficiently. The aliens were trained for exploration and combat, but Mason's calm control over her vessel was something else entirely. The approaching ships closed in, their weapons ready. They had no idea what they faced. Mason did not fear them. Instead, she studied their formations, analyzing their speed, their range, and their weaknesses. They think they are superior, she said quietly. They do not understand the lessons of a death world. Survival is not about size or strength. It is about skill, strategy, and willpower. The first shots were fired. The alien weapons glowed bright in space, aiming for Mason's ship. Erebus reacted instantly. Shields flared, absorbing the attacks. The energy from the alien weapons dissipated harmlessly. Mason smiled faintly. Good. Now they will learn. Her hands moved over the controls, adjusting energy distribution, repositioning shields, and readying countermeasures. The aliens were surprised by the precision of her movements. Every action was calculated, efficient, deadly, the Vari engineers whispered among themselves. She is incredible, one said. We cannot match her. Mason did not hear them. Her focus was absolute. She had survived for centuries, and now she was ready to face new threats. The alien ships would soon realize that humans were not just survivors. They were masters of the impossible. As the battle continued, Mason and Erebus worked in perfect coordination. Shields adjusted, weapons targeted weak points, and the alien ships found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. A few attempted to retreat, but Mason anticipated their moves and blocked their escape paths. Leveran and his crew watched in awe. They had discovered one human, but now they understood the truth. Humanity had survived death worlds, and they were not to be underestimated. Finally, after hours of careful maneuvering and precise action, the alien ships retreated. Mason allowed them to leave, letting them go with a clear warning. This is only the beginning, she said softly. They will tell others what they saw, and they will be afraid. They should be afraid. Humanity does not forgive easily, and we do not forget. Leveran nodded slowly. He realized that this single human could change the balance of power in the galaxy. The Vari had found one human, but Mason's presence suggested that many more might exist waiting to return. Mason turned back to the console, already planning her next steps. The galaxy had forgotten humanity, but she had not forgotten it. She would find her people, awaken the hidden fleets, and remind the stars why humans were feared and respected. The derelict ship, once silent and abandoned, now hummed with life. The lights glowed brighter. The corridors moved with energy, and the AI operated with full awareness. Mason had awakened not just herself, but the power of her civilization. And somewhere in the galaxy, the stars waited, unaware that humanity was about to return.